Hi, and thank you for watching Target West. This is DJ Chris. It is show number 150. You can find more information about us at targetedwest.com. There's a lot of information. You can connect to the book club and see my books. I'm an author and the TI that moderates a call on Sundays. Um, and I get V2K, and I've been getting that for 23 years. The opinions of our guests, of course, are their own and not that of Targeted West or DJ Chris. We appreciate it. We're here in beautiful Lodi, California. Like I said, we're at show number 150, which is an incredible feat. Just one guy, basically, with the help of his friends, and I made it this far. It's incredible. We have with us, of course, tonight, Anna Toledo. From Targeted Justice. Anna Toledo has a lot of information to share with us tonight. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce her to you to tell you a bit about her bio and what she has planned for 2025. Hello, Anna Toledo. Come on in.
Hi, Chris, and hi to all your guests. Thank you for having me here. My bio, well, most people know a lot about it. I have shortened it. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, which is, for me, the most amazing place to live in the world. I went to Columbia College and Columbia University in New York City for college, and I did a master's in environmental law at Vermont Law School. Then in August of 2021, I discovered I was a targeted individual, and that I had been a targeted individual for almost 2 decades. So on September 21, 22, I left Puerto Rico. Targeted Justice pretty much airlifted me to come and file the lawsuit of the century, which was Target Justice versus Garland, which we took all the way to the Supreme Court, where the district court said that B2K was fantastical and it was all conspiracy theory. And even though we've encountered a lot of obstacles, which I think it's not over until the fat lady sings. Well, the Supreme Court denied us the opportunity to be heard. But that's not the end of it. We are regrouping and doing other things. So with the experience and the knowledge I acquired throughout those 2 years, and particularly the wonderful people I met throughout those 2 years, well, we're ready to take on, and I really think that this year is a game changer. We are living in a really important year, and it's a privilege, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much, DJ Chris.
Thank you for having you come by. Yes, airlifted from Puerto Rico. You're the attorney for Targeted Justice. You do a really great job, and the fact that you pivoted from going from lawsuit to the Congress is amazing. That's the move of a leader, the incredible move that you made.
Well, thank you. We still have 3 lawsuits going on. They are Freedom of Information Act request lawsuits. And you would think that the courts would act with the agility that they require, but that is not the case. I hope that changes. But yes, we're going to Congress, and I wanted to bring to your audience attention. This is a document that we crafted with lots of love and lots of foresight into what would it look like to not just shut down the program, but bring justice to targeted individuals. And so we titled it Project Freedom. I don't know if you want me to discuss it.
Absolutely. I read the document twice. The first time I couldn't figure out what the target audience was. For some reason, it didn't hit in my head. So I read it twice and then figured it out. And it's a great document. It's very well written. It's concise. It includes the possibility of us getting retribution, of course, through financial means or what have you. Maybe laws will change because of this. So it's amazing, and it's thorough, and it's a good document, and I'm sure you guys are proud of it.
Well, the document is in Targeted Justice website. You can download it from there. And what I really think that people should try to do is contact their congressperson, congressman, congresswoman, and send it to them, and then call and say, "Did you receive it? I would like to discuss it with any of your aides," because I don't know if you're aware of the fact that um, okay, let me just make this disclaimer. Whether or not you like President Trump, he is doing things that I am absolutely convinced are going to help the targeted community. The first of these is the weaponization, the executive order that discusses, and that's why I have to say this preview before going into it, because he has ordered the director, which would be Tulsi Gabbard when she gets confirmed, to investigate the malfeasance, the abuses by the intelligence community, and to render a report within 45 days. So this document, which I wrote way before any of these executive orders went into place, this document provides a guide, and I'm going to be sending it to Tulsi Gabbard, and I'm going to ask you all to write to her, because it sets like a footprint, like a map into you have to start looking here, you have to start looking there, the abuses of the FBI placing people on the terrorist screening database uh, without reasonable suspicion. I added in there Ted Gunderson's affidavit that talks about, it's a 2011 affidavit detailing the program. That's why he got murdered 6 months later. And so she has been given the responsibility to investigate the bad actions by the intelligence community. And that has never been done before. The other thing that is amazing is that 50 CIA people have been stripped from their security clearances and have been prohibited from going into federal buildings. What that tells me is they are not letting them go in there and intimidate or threaten any whistleblower or any person that is going to be telling the truth about this program and other intelligence activities abuses. So, for those of you that have not been following the news, this is huge for us. Okay, this is the first time that we see that something meaningful can happen. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna go into Project Freedom. So I put there a disclaimer. None of this can be used against anybody, pretty much. And I put the statement of the problem, which is what the program is. I make reference to the Ted Gunderson affidavit, which is added as an exhibit, as an appendix. And then the summary of the proposal goes into, first of all, you see, the statement of the problem, I really urge you to read it, because many of you need to know the chronology of what happened, how supposedly the church committee stopped MK Ultra, and it never really stopped. Okay, so it's important to speak with facts, so that, because when you speak with the facts, they can't call you crazy, because it's history, and that's why I refrain from talking about things I suspect, but I don't have evidence of. You know, like when you start talking about your brain is being uploaded to the computer, etc. Well, that I don't have evidence of that, so I only talk about the legal documents that I have, and these are sufficient to prove to Tulsi Gabbard, the Director of National Intelligence, that there are abuses by the intelligence community, and the biggest one is a targeting program. So I put in there the history, how nobody was ever held responsible for COINTELPRO or for MK Ultra, and that is why this time around, one of the proposals I put at the end is these people need to be prosecuted. They need to pay for their crimes, because it's the only way that history will not repeat itself. So, towards the summary of the proposal is the creation of a specialized congressional committee like the church committee. Again, I didn't know that President Trump was going to sign that executive order that specifically orders an investigation and recommendations as to what to do. And so the first part is about agency information requests and subpoenas, public hearings that form part of the congressional record, so that 500 years from now, they know that it was this community that were the warriors that survived military-grade weaponry and fought so hard to get history, change the course of history, because all of you should know that this was a crown jewel program of the deep state, and it was going to be rolled out to the entire population for mind control and absolute total population control. So we are the warriors that stopped it. And that's why I say this is an amazing time in history, because we get to be the protagonist in this such an important moment. Then the second part, other than the subpoenas, public hearings, you've seen them in Congress. Then the second part entails proposing and getting essential legislation that will end the program and will make sure it never happens again. Give retribution to the victims. My proposal is all the billions that are being spent on this program should be used to compensate the victims. You can't say, oh, there's no money. No, there is money. You just have to shut off the money spent on the perps, on the gang stalkers, on the doctors, on the hospitals, on everybody persecuting you and chasing you around, and all the government money that is spent on the criminality of this program, and it just has to be shifted to the victims. Then the third part requires also the active involvement for the prosecution. I also request special, and this goes hand in hand with Dr. Lambert's civilian registry. There has got to be epidemiological studies and healthcare for Havana syndrome victims. And it's not just Havana syndrome. We know that many people have blood clots, they have ulcers, they have all sorts of things caused by these weapons. So that is one of the part, after the criminality is uncovered, then we're going to start to pick the pieces up. Okay, and then the prosecution of the criminals, Chance Osman, the general at the Space Force, that man has to be court-martialed and put in.
I think we lost you, and there you're back. Lost you for a second.
Okay. Well, I urge you, the proposal itself, it's not that long. I also asked for the investigation of the fusion centers and InfraGard, Citizen Corps, Neighborhood Watch, who are usually the perps chasing us around. Medical director of the program. We need to demand that the criminal psychiatrist head of the CIA psychological operations be prosecuted and sentenced to either life in prison or whatever, because that is the guy that creates your torture menu. That is the guy or the woman that decides what torture, what V2K, what this, what that, what kind of torture you get. And so the evidence, I go in there to the evidence, that is where it'll be very valuable. And I cannot emphasize this enough. We have to pray for Dr. Lambert's health, because the reason why they're torturing him so much is because he's the only civilian doctor that will go and point the finger at who's doing this, and how the civilian population is much more affected than the federal employees, that he's been advocating for civilians to be included in the Havana Act of 2021. So, many of you have heard him speak, and he's not just very knowledgeable, but he is, he's an incessant researcher. He documents everything. He will not speak unless he has the science behind it. So he's going to be a great representative for us in Congress speaking about the silent Havana syndrome epidemic. We also have Richard Lighthouse, who knows to the T the technology on the directed energy weapons. And so he, I whether you like him or not, I think he will be a very honorable witness to convey the information where do you have to go look for the dead bodies, where you have, go get the logs for firing of the
And we lost you again there, Deb K. Deb K. Um, are you there? Oh, and it's Toledo. You're back.
Well, it's I'm sorry, when I talk about the criminals, they get
Every time you bring up one of the organizations, it slams you. It's funny, not funny,
okay.
but
Well, I won't talk
interesting.
about the organizations. I urge you from the bottom of my heart. This was made. I even, one of the proposals I have is like it was done in Puerto Rico with COINTELPRO, that every targeted individual is given their full file that will contain the torture menu, your entire dossier. Every person that has been a victim of this program has a right to that, and to be, take, and we have to demand it because, it's like I say to people, you have a right to.
Oh my! You'll be right back.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. Anyways, so I urge you to look at it, and
I can. I will leave it in the note on the notes for the call.
until now, we know that there are thousands of targeted individuals that have power. In the beamforming technology in the cell towers so that they're not used as directed energy weapons. There's a lot of information there. I don't want to, take the entire time because I want to talk to you about some other things that we're doing. But please, this is one thing that you can share with your congressperson and follow up on it. Let me tell you, I sent this and the civilian registry to the Intelligence Committee of the Congress, and the post office retained two of them. But since I checked one by one the certified mail, I identified them and I made a complaint, and they finally delivered them. So you have to follow up, not just, oh, I sent it, In my Substack, I have been writing, and I'm going to continue to write letters for the elected officials. I already did one for Pete Hegseth, requesting that he stop the crimes against humanity that are being perpetrated from the Space Force. I did one for President Trump demanding the elimination of handling codes 3 and 4 and the investigation of the program. And I'm going to be writing one for Tulsi too, so check out my Substack where I'm going to put them there. I'm going to put them there in Twitter too. I wanted, Chris, do you have any questions, or do you want me to continue with what I prepared to present?
What is your? How do we subscribe to your Substack? Can you give us your Substack name so they can on the recording be able to subscribe?
Yeah, it's Ana Toledo altogether, ANATOLEDO.substack.com.
Gotcha. Okay, everybody, please subscribe.
Yeah, because I put there, sometimes I do, like I put just very short public service announcements about things I discover that help you, whether it be hacking. And then sometimes I write about everything. So everything that is close to my heart.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm a
I,
member of your. I'm a follower of your Substack. Yeah, and you're a follower of my Substack now.
yeah, yeah, and I because like we were talking off the air is and everybody should understand that the best way to feel instant happiness is helping others. When you shift the focus from you, like for example, Chris, what you do with your music, when you shift the focus onto helping others, that is instant happiness. And that is one of the ways that we can cope with this atrocity while it's over. So I did want to give
Right, and
you,
I visualized all of you on a dance floor when it's all over and we're having champagne.
oh yeah,
Yeah, don't
I
you
do
like that?
too.
Yeah,
I do
I figured
too.
you would. Yes,
Oh yeah.
on the dance floor,
Oh, this guy.
celebrating.
I
Yes.
use that so much. But it's okay because right now this is the work we need to do. I think
Oh,
God
the
put
party
me
will be
right
there
here.
when we're ready. Yeah, but I'm telling you, this is the year. The next couple of
Absolutely.
years for sure are going to be important. You've got everything in alignment. You've got a president that
Absolutely.
has a House and Congress and Senate. So yeah,
You have
this
Ron
is a good
Paul.
time.
You have Ron Paul saying this agency manages the DHS. He's going to be in charge of the DHS now, supervising it. And he's telling Christy Noem, how come this agency has $110 million, $1 billion in budget, and you cannot tell me what they're doing with it? I want you to go in there and cut the grease. And she's going to do it. And then, so the weaponization order, I really urge you to read it because it's almost tailor made for our program. And then the one on censorship, I'm going to be writing about that in my Meta because many of you got your Facebook pages canceled, right? And all your social media canceled. And now with this order of the weaponization, the criminals at the FBI can no longer interfere with Twitter or Facebook or any of that. So that's
Yeah,
really
and
good
they're
news.
going through. A whole bunch of them are going through turmoil right now with the FBI and the DOJ because a lot of them got fired. And then the chatter in my head right now is that they're scared because they always say they're the FBI and they say they're scared. So
Well, they should be scared because they're criminals. And I have no qualms about saying it because having placed innocent Americans on a terrorist list knowing that they're innocent, that is a crime and that is treason. So then, I don't know if you've noticed, we're holding at Targeted Justice, we're doing also weekly spaces to benefit the community. This week is going to be Wednesday at 8, and it's going to be a deep dive on the diagnosis of Havana syndrome. So Dr. Lambert is going to talk, because I know there's a scarcity of doctors that don't diagnose Havana syndrome. He's going to be talking about it. So if not only you, but you have a doctor friend that may either neurologist or ear doctor that can that would be willing to. Well, this is one good mechanism. Last week we had V2K and children and targeted children. Next week, after this week, we're going to have again the Morgellons. So what we want to do is present, please subscribe to Targeted Justice in Twitter at Targeted Justice so that you get the notifications, because what we want to do is empower people. Uh, and don't think, for example, even if you don't have Morgellons is one of those things that is so absolutely undeniable linked to the program that it might very well be one of the keys to it. Okay. And also the civilian registry. Send the civilian registry to your congressperson and tell them, demand, listen, there's tons of civilians that have Havana syndrome. Why are you discriminating against civilians just because they're not federal employees? No, we are suffering too. We are Americans too. And you have to include us. And here's the evidence. That's fine. That's only 8 people that, because there was a lot of sabotage in the civilian registry. But I know it's going to grow because it's for a good purpose. It's for all of us to get medical coverage and medical attention for the Havana syndrome. Eh, now, activism is contagious. I want you all to look into the possibility of being digital soldiers, digital warriors. We here are preaching to the choir. We don't need to convince each other of the atrocities of this program. We need to step outside of this comfort zone and through very cohesive and intelligent conversation, make people aware, make normies aware about this program. And that is the Digital Warriors. I'm going to be having the podcast. My next podcast that I'm having, a Targeted Justice podcast, just started. We already did 2 episodes, and I'm going to be doing the third. I'm going to do it in Digital Warriors for all of you. I'm going to share my knowledge, and I will share it for free for all of you to engage in this. Let's use social media to red pill the world. Okay. Last week I had one, and I urge you, if you know any J6ers have not made the connection that they are targeted. And unfortunately, last Sunday, a young man, 41 years old, Matthew Huddle, died because he had an encounter. He had a silent hit with a sheriff. All of us, all of the license plates of our cars are in the database that the NCIC FBI shares. So they will stop you. And you have to know that when they're stopping you, you have to be courteous. You have to know that they are microwaving you and it to agitate you. Okay? This is a life or death thing here. So you have to be very courteous. One of the things I do is I carry flyers. Once you start giving flyers away, they stop stopping you because the criminals don't want the local police to know about the program. Remember, they don't have the security clearance to know about it. They tell the cops that you are a suspected terrorist. That's what they tell them.
I know, it's incredible. We need to take a quick break for a moment. We have a message from our friends at Cyber Shield. If you don't mind, we'll be right back with the interview in just a moment. Here's a word about Cyber Shield. Do you know about the crack code? Check it out.
Do you have a box of worthless shielding material that doesn't work? Have you paid professionals only to come out on the short end of the stick? Well, your life is about to change. Visit cybershieldinfo.com to crack the code on a shielding device that actually works. The Cyber Shield is a computer that fights the perps with a dose of crack code. Would you like to have an in-person demonstration of the Cyber Shield? Come to the San Francisco Bay Area and Silicon Valley for a free demo. Get your Cyber Shield at cybershieldinfo.com. That's cybershieldinfo.com and change your life.
That's cybershieldinfo.com. Now back to the show. We have Anna Toledo here from Targeted Justice talking about a very important document and how important it is to get outside of the box and the choir to communicate the message. And myself, I'm going to be on Unveiling Shadows on Wednesday, and that'll be available on Twitter when I post it. So check it out. So anyway, back to Anna Toledo. So Anne, your plans for 2025, we know that. Project Freedom, we've talked about that. And how do you feel about the new Congress and Senate and House? Are they going to be able to be receptive to this document?
I think so. I want to read to you the policy of the executive order against the weaponization of the government. And it says,
it would be nice if you could, please. Yes.
It is the policy of the United States to identify and take appropriate action to correct past misconduct by the federal government related to the weaponization of law enforcement and the weaponization of the intelligence community. They're talking about us. And this is a mandate. And I really believe that a, both the Attorney General and the Tulsi and the Director of National Intelligence, listen to this, in consultation with the heads of the appropriate departments and agencies within the Intelligence community shall take appropriate action to review the activities of the intelligence community. That's just plain. And so I really think that um, they are going to be receptive because the president is going to force them to be receptive. And I think that Mr. Patel is indispensable. The confirmation of Mr. Patel to all targeted individuals. You asked me, Chris, for a book, and I totally urge you to read Government Gangsters.
Yeah, it was number 4 on our list was book recommendation. What is the book? Let me see that.
It's called Government Gangsters by Kash Patel.
Oh, I know. I saw him talk about that, and I didn't catch the book. Okay, I will add that to the book club for sure. Kash Patel, Government Gangsters.
Amazing, and he talks. If you allow me to read you a little part of it, so you understand.
That would be great. This is the book club too.
Well,
so that would be perfect.
Is the person we need at the FBI. Every single targeted individual needs to call their senator and make sure you say you need to, because people have pledged money to primary anybody that doesn't sign, this man knows, okay? Listen to this. He says, the intelligence community, defenders of transparency and of the people of the House and Senate should immediately form a committee to thoroughly investigate abuses within the intelligence community, modeled after the 1975 Church Committee. The Church Committee in the House and the Pie Committee in the Senate reviewed abuses at the FBI, CIN, NSA, and other agencies, uncovering scandal after scandal committed by the deep state. This included revealing the existence of MK-Ultra, a CIA program used to drug Americans with LSD. They're attacking my nose. That's why you see me now scratching, because that's what the criminals like to do. So only an open airing of the intelligence community's dirty laundry will restore trust in our national security apparatus. I was in tears when I read that, because this man absolutely knows what he's talking about. And then in his appendix A, he says he has top reforms to defeat the deep state. And the number one that he lists is aggressive congressional oversight. Congress must much more aggressively subpoena documents and witnesses to uncover wrongdoing in every branch of government. This includes the formation of a new church commission modeled after the congressional body that uncovered CIA crimes like MK-Ultra and spying operations on the civil rights movement. And he continues in there. So this is the best news. Mr. Patel needs to be confirmed. He's going to be at the helm of the FBI. I have no doubt that he will purge that illegal, those handling codes 3 and 4 that lack reasonable suspicion. And just the things are going to start rolling. Yes, we have to also deal with the Mars database, which is at the DOD and with Mr. Hexeth. But, we have to see things as one step at a time. We are in a historic moment that I find that we are going to be free because of the massive abuse that was perpetrated on so many people. It just turned against these criminals. For example, putting Tulsi on as a targeted individual. She was placed on the terrorist screening database. So that kind of abuse just exploded in their face. And now I think the time of reckoning is coming. I really believe it. But it's no time. This is the moment where we have to become digital warriors, and we have to become very active. This is no time to say, oh, my targeting is going to go up. No. Another project that I have is doing a research, and I'm recruiting volunteers, paralegals, for a research because I want to do this huge database of legal cases that have been dismissed to targeted individuals. We have maybe 300, 400 of them, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. I already have the queries ready and how to handle it, to do it at a state and a federal level, because we want to see the scripts used by these courts to dismiss these cases and deny the constitutional right of targeted individuals to petition for the redress of grievances. So that is something that we're looking into, and we're looking into other legal activities that we're gonna do. But it's all hopeful, Chris. I every day I wake up to fight these criminals, and I feel so blessed to have been placed on this earth, on this time, to be able to do this work.
Yes, and we all work together, not fighting. And if you have issues with Targeted West or Targeted Justice, say something. Don't go around creating strife and separating us and not uniting is not good. We need to be together because this is the time that we need to work as one to get this done and over with. And I think it's now. Now is the time.
Absolutely. One of the things that just strikes me is that we all know we have been victims of being separated from our friends. We have been victims of defamation. Yet sometimes some people don't think twice about engaging in that conduct. And we have to see and realize that when you do that, you are working for the enemy without maybe realizing it. So it is a time to be very careful with our words and to be very, very conscious about it and support the people that are fighting for your cause. Because, it's like sometimes people write to me in Twitter, oh, I need help. And I reply back, I'm not working for one person. I'm working for 6 million people. It's so selfish for people to tell me, no, you're bogus because you didn't take me as a plaintiff. No, you don't understand. We are fighting to shut this down for everybody, not just for one person, you know? So if you are so selfish as to think that I am bogus because I didn't represent you, well, you're the problem. Because I am fighting for everybody, not just in the United States, but in Malaysia, in Argentina. We just started yesterday, Friday. We had an interview with Javier Dadan, who is our representative in Argentina. There is a lot of vicious things going there, and the president needs to know. So for
Yeah,
all of you,
I keep reminding people this is worldwide. This is not just in the United States. This is a worldwide program with a worldwide, basically a syndicate that's together in this deep state syndicate.
and we need to write to the Department of Government Efficiency and demand the defunding of Citizen Corps and InfraGard. We need to get active and do it in an elegant and cohesive way. Okay, that's what because we are unstoppable. We have survived military grade weaponry. We are talented people. If we put our talent to work all towards the same goal of defunding these criminal programs and exposing them in a very intelligent fashion, well, there's nothing we can't win.
That's right. And the chat room is saying it's the Illuminati. I know my telepathy calls himself Illuminati, but anybody could be the Illuminati. It is a worldwide organization. I call it a syndicate, and it is. There's so many names for it. There's no real name, but it's basically a group of spiders of webs of people that are dark triad personalities that just want to go out and harm people. There's people that do that, and unfortunately, we have to fight against that. And right
And
now
it's
is not the
funny,
time to be against each other.
do not be mistaken. One of the good executive orders that the president signed was declaring drug trade organizations as terrorist organizations. And that is huge because that is going to cut off the funding for the CIA because they use what is called a black budget and they use illegal money from drug trafficking to finance these operations worldwide.
I was just explaining that to somebody, or I was talking to my telepathy about that. Yes, but you're right. That's exactly how they do it. You could cut them off. You can cut them off 3 days of Sunday, and they still have the illegal trade they make their money on: pornography, drugs,
Human
human
trafficking.
trafficking. Yeah, the whole thing. Now it's and gambling. It just never stops.
But there is hope. These 50 former CIA agents are going to be
Oh,
so
we lost. Oh, you're back. There you are.
yeah, because I'm talking about the 50 intelligence community people that were kicked out.
Oh, you're all witnessing this live on Targeted West. Every time we bring them up, and they knock her out.
But
That's
so
amazing.
these are
Live
great
and witnessing
times.
it.
This had never happened before. This had never happened before. And I think it's indicative of good things to come. That's
It
what I
really is. I agree. Well, was there anything else you want to cover? Because we've got 102 people in the call, which is a record, and they probably want to ask you questions. Are you ready?
No, yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you wanted to cover?
No, just everybody make sure if you can read this book, I call them government criminals. Government gangsters cuz it's going to give you a lot of hope and we should all be calling our senators to make sure they vote for this man because this man, I am telling you, he knows about the program and he's committed to end it.
And
Because
it's Cash Patel, and
yes,
the book
Cash
is
Patel.
okay. We'll add that to the book club. Okay, we'll switch modes. We've got Tranquility on the board to help us if it gets too wild. Here we go. Hi, it's DJ Chris with Anna Toledo. You have a chance now to ask a
Hi,
question. Go ahead
Anna.
and *6. Come on in. First one up. You're up.
Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Constance.
Anna. You know I'm praying for you, girl.
Oh,
Mm,
thank
mm, mm.
you. I know you have straight line to God, so I thank you.
I want you covered. I want Cass Mattel, he covered. I want Dr. Lambert covered in the mighty name of Jesus. Okay.
Amen. Thank
Whew.
you. Thank
Amen.
you, Constance.
Amen. So I have the call called Treasured Love and Care. Okay, I think we're on our 6th week, maybe. Some questions I want to ask concerning mothers of you met my daughter Alex, so you know she's going through it. There's other mothers, and I talk to them that their children are have some form of mental challenges that are going through this. I am hoping that they step outside the box so that they can do something. But most mothers are terrified. They're
Yeah.
terrified that if they do something, their child's going to be targeted worse. But I want to try to get into their mind that no matter if you do something or you don't do something, if you pass out a flyer or you don't pass out a flyer, your child's still going to be targeted.
Oh,
Yes, it's going to get higher, or no, it might get lower, but it's a chance that we have to take because we want this to stop for them. And the only way to get this to stop for them is to get out and do some activism. I'm starting a group here. I'm so sorry. I have started a group here. We named each other yesterday. The name of our is called Phoenix Desert Activist TI Group. right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Yesterday we had 7 people. Hopefully we'll be getting more people. We ate pancakes together and drank coffee together. And we are uniting against this fight where everybody needs to try to get a support group together where they're meeting together, kind of on the same mind level together, because we do have some TIs that are just not going to get up and do anything, not even going to think about doing anything, don't want to do anything, thinking that they're just going to sit there till the horse comes and rescue them. Well, I want them to know ain't no horse coming. Ain't nobody coming to rescue you. You got to participate in this fight, and you got to participate with every bit of strength in your body, because we are in trouble. The bus has hit us. Now what we need to do is remove the bus and heal from the injuries. So what can I suggest to the parents that are a little scared, and how can we put them in the equation?
Well, that's a great question. That is precisely why we had, it was this past week, we had parents of targeted children. We had an X space, and we want to open it. We're going to be holding it once a month, because what my vision is to organize a group of courageous mothers like yourself that will approach organizations such as Children's Health Defense and say, because they've been fighting for vaccines and stuff. To the Department of Health, because then we can also approach him regarding the abuse on children, which is very close to his heart. So I say that is great that you organize that group. And if you, in any way, I can help you, let's say, draft letters because we have here in El Paso, we have a mom of a child that is extremely tortured. And here in Houston, there's a lot of families that have tortured children. So if you can definitely, with that leadership of yours, get them together, and I am more than willing to help you, on the legal side, right? Of helping you draft, but you need to get the attention, I think, of Children's Health Defense, which is a huge organization, has huge visibility, and they even conduct weekly X spaces too. We need to very cohesively, coherently, intelligently approach them and tell them, please help us, because these are crimes against children, against humanity.
Thank you so much. You had mentioned, sorry. You have mentioned something about you get together once a month. Is that something I can attend?
Well, we're doing X spaces once a week. You can attend; they're free. They're in X in the Targeted Justice. And so this coming Wednesday, it's going to be a deep dive on Havana syndrome. Then we're doing the Targeted Justice podcast that, like this coming week, I'm going to be doing about digital warriors, for people to learn how to be really effective in getting the attention. And so that's what we're doing. Nothing in person. Everything is going to be online.
Oh yeah, I know that. I thought that maybe it was a conference call, but you said it's on X. Okay.
Yeah, no, but the podcast is in Rumble and in X. We transmit it through X2 and through Facebook, and that's going to be very useful, because I have corroborated it, and it's really valuable information. So I urge you to subscribe to our Rumble channel, because we have everything is there.
Okay.
Gotcha. Thank you, Constance. Yeah, bless you, Constance.
God bless
you.
Next
person in line would like to speak to Anna Toledo. Come on in. We have 104 people. Hi, how are you? Come on in.
Yeah, tell me something, Anna. Yes, I respect you, and I thank you for everything you've done. Listen, I mean, you talk a lot about, hackers. I mean, I think hacking's got a lot to do with this. And if you go along the rabbit hole of hackers, you can maybe see it coming through. Um, I don't. To me, I believe it's a program that's spread out through many countries, and I believe it's not American, so much. I believe there's a lot of foreigners that can do this. Why would our own country do this to us and then target us afterwards? Because what they do is once they target you, they move on to remote neural monitoring, and then they move on to BCI, and then that spreads. It's like malware.
Excuse me. Do you have a question? Do you have a question?
Did you have a question for Anna?
That's my question. Why? I mean, is it always have to do with our government and not foreign governments? And
look, the evidence. We have the evidence in Targeted Justice. The United States, the CIA finances this program in 60 countries. They have made memoranda of understanding with illegally, because it's only the Department of State that can carry out and get it ratified by Congress. Arrangements with countries all over the place for the gang stalking. They finance the gang stalking, and the directed energy weapons attacks are crafted and directed from here. And I'm not going to enter into a discussion of whether they recruit people around the world, perps that get paid with American money and black money. That's why they call it a black budget, because not necessarily it comes from Congress. A lot of it comes, like DJ Chris says, from human trafficking, from drug trafficking, from illegal operations, because the CIA is notorious in engaging in criminal activity.
That's what they do, yeah. Thank you, sir, for that. Next
but
question.
I understand about, there's software and that, there was always Satan 666 software and that. Do you not think that everybody could hack something and could hack into the technology and then not the other people?
No, hacking is only part of it to make your life impossible.
But can't we head into the hacking? That'd be the first thing to find out where this hacking is coming from.
That's not important. What we need to do is shut down the weapons. That's what matters.
I get blasted by 6, 7, microwaves, acoustic waves, infrared, from all different directions. I have a traumatic brain.
I don't want to be. I
have
understand
everything.
We need to go to the next question. There's like 100 people here.
Question.
Next question. Come on in.
I have a question for Miss Anna.
Yes.
Come on in.
You said that there was information that you gave the local officers when they pulled you over. Was that like a brochure or something that you have? And is that something you'd be willing to share with other TIs so that they can share it with local law enforcement?
Absolutely. The one that makes them stay away from you after the first time you give it to them is it's one of the flyers. You can download it from Targeted Justice and adapt it. If you want to remove the Targeted Justice, you remove it. But just it's the flyer that says of the people on the terrorist list. It's a scam. It just look in the homepage in Targeted Justice, and maybe I'll put it in Twitter. And I have that in my glove compartment. And so as soon as I come here, I say, look, I am a targeted individual. I was illegally placed on this list, and that's a silent hit you got. And it's pure harassment, and this is the truth. That what the information you're getting is not true. So you can download it from Targeted Justice and just keep a few of them in your glove compartment. I promise you, after the first time they stop you and you give it to a cop, they won't stop you again, because, like I said, the people that stop you, they think you're a criminal. They think you're a terrorist because that's what the FBI tells them. Well, when because they don't have the security clearance. When you give them a flyer and they can look it up and they realize, oh, well, maybe this is not true. Maybe this person's not a terrorist. They don't. The top criminals don't want that. Okay. So it's I use it and it works for me, and I know it works for other people. But most important is always be respectful. Don't get into an argument. That's the most important thing, because this agent that comes and approaches you, he thinks you're a dangerous criminal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they think because the computer, that's what the computer shows, that you're a suspected terrorist. So you have to be, your hands in your lap and very calm and very respectful. Never ever be disrespectful or violent or aggressive, because then that's what happened to this man Matthew Huddle last Sunday. Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you for your question. Next question in line. Come on in. Anna Toledo is in the house. We've got 105 people here.
I have a question. Could I?
Yes, come on in. Go ahead.
Hi. I live in Texas, and I was wondering if Anna had, or anyone in Targeted Justice, had tried speaking with August Fluger. He's the chairman of the House Homeland Security Subcommittee that had the Havana Syndrome hearings back in May. He's from our 11th district, which is, he lives in San Angelo. Has anybody here anybody in the organization tried to contact him? Do we have any idea where he stands on this? And would he be a really good person for us to, to call his office, write letters, whatever, to him specifically?
Yes, thank you for that. I urge you to do it. And when you do call, you can say, Dr. Lambert from Targeted Justice sent you a 2-page letter, including the civilian registry, because I personally mailed it and I verified that his office, I did it through certified mail, his office received it. And because in that May 8th hearing, they asked, are there any civilian victims? And they're like, no, we only deal, one said, I only deal with vets, and then the other one said, I only deal with federal employees. So we sent them the information and the civilian registry, which you can also download so you understand. It's on the homepage of Targeted Justice. The Havana Syndrome Civilian Registry was sent it to all of the members of that committee with a letter, certified mail, and they all got it because I verified it. So if you could be so kind, and as a Texan, a resident, please call and say, when are you going to look into the civilian victims of Havana Syndrome?
Okay, yes, certainly I can do that.
Well, yes. We would love that. We need people to get on the phones. Everybody in that committee I sent it to, and with a letter from Len.
Okay.
And so they have it, and it's a matter of, okay, then when you call, okay, what's your name? Okay, when can I call you back to follow up on what is he going to do about it? Is he going to hold hearings? I would be more than willing to go, or whoever, the victims that have already been diagnosed, we're willing to go, So the thing is, if you can do that and write down who you talked to and what day and what time and what they told you, this is what we need. This is the activism we need.
Okay.
Thank you for that, and thank you. And
thank you.
Yes, next question in line. The coloring book and the book club are being delayed, so we can continue taking questions. Anybody have a question for Anna Toledo? Come on in.
I have a question. I missed meeting about the children being targeted, but I have been targeted for 15 years. And my daughter's 9, and she is under attack. I mean, she can hear voices in her head. She is in pain. She has seizures. She has 504 and an IEP, and I'm just like, I'm so worried about her brain. And you mentioned something about someone I can call, and I missed that.
Well, I was telling Constance, maybe you would like to get together with Constance's group, even if you're not, I don't know, maybe you could do like online meetings. The Children's Health Defense Fund
That's what it was. Yeah.
is which Kennedy was part of their board of directors. And please remember, everybody, Kennedy is a targeted individual. Okay, so he knows about our plight, and maybe what he doesn't know is that children are being tortured. That's why we're having that weekly. I urge you to join our monthly, once a month. We're going to have a call on targeted children, and it's hosted by a parent of a 5-year-old that is targeted and has V2K. Dr. Lambert talked about how this does harm not just an adult brain, but a developing brain.
Yeah.
Because of the strength of the microwave beams that are used to attack in order to be able to transmit the voices. So, it's something that the only thing we can do is activism to shut this down. So I urge you to try to contact them, get together with Constance, coordinate, because it's not the same when you have a letter signed by 8 parents than by 1 parent, you know. And I really think that it needs to get done, because obviously nobody has studied the long-term damage on children, but we do know that there are already 15 children that were diagnosed with Havana syndrome by the General Accounting Office. It was in the General Accounting Office report by Dr. Hoffer. So it is happening. It is happening. It's no longer fantastical, because if it's happening to the sons and daughters of federal employees, it's happening to the sons and daughters of civilians. So we just need to break that door, just get in. And I urge you and those people have constant spaces on X. I urge you to just go in there and ask to speak and have them. And when you do, and this is to everybody in the community, when you do get the opportunity to speak in any of these spaces, please do so knowing that it's hundreds of people that are listening to you. Don't go into the particular, talk about there are children that are being tortured with this, when you make it only about yourself, people lose interest. That's my experience. People lose interest. So make it about there are hundreds of children that are being affected by this technology. The government's not doing anything. We need you to help. We need you to bring awareness to this issue and start from there.
It's not just that, like, they'll break into the house and take all of her clothes and her birthday presents, and it is torture for me to watch. And she's so sweet, but I could just, it's impossible. I don't even know what to say. It's heartbreaking.
Okay, the first thing is you absolutely need to secure your house. All my windows are screwed, okay? Like, even if I wanted to open them, I can't. And I have, when you leave the house, even if it doesn't look pretty, you can use the hasp and the lock, and you put tape around it. You can look in Targeted Justice in the tab that says how to fight back. There's a video there of Richard explaining how you can put tape around it, and then you sign it and you take a picture of it. And that has substantially reduced. I personally know of people has substantially reduced the break-ins. It takes 10 minutes more before you leave each day, but when you come back, if that tape is broken, but then you have to make sure that all your other doors are screwed in or have hasps from inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get into our windows and doors, and we board up everything, but they always break in. So
sorry to hear that. We need to go on to the next question.
Okay, well, just secure your home. That's the most important thing. And if I can recommend, look, I wear this to sleep at night. It's a gel hat. Try it for your daughter, because it might minimize a little bit and might absorb a little bit of the waves.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for that. We have a quick message from TI Events. and then we'll be right back for more questions and answers from Anna Toledo.
Welcome to TIEvents.org, your official insider for the targeted individual community. As the go-to source for all TI events, we're here to keep you in the loop with the latest and greatest happenings. Discover daily conference calls, meetups, and exclusive events across the USA, all at your fingertips. Plus, planning a TI event? Advertise with us for free and connect directly with the TI community. TIEvents.org is not just a website. It's your gateway to a world of information, connection, and empowerment for TIs everywhere. TIEvents.org, your official insider. Dive in and discover today.
Okay, that's TIEvents.org. We're having Anna Toledo here, and people are asking questions. Is any more? Any else? Did I lose my English? Does anybody else have a question for Anna Toledo? Come on in.
Yes.
Star 6.
Yes, hi. Hi,
Go
Anna,
ahead.
this is Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for, that's awesome. And thank you for all you're doing. You're always thinking of something. And all the letters you've been having that we can use to send letters. Thank you for that. My question is, I'm wondering that Senator Lindsey Graham, he said that he'll vote for Tulsi Gabbard if she says that she wants the 702 to be for foreign terrorists. Does that mean that it's going to work against us by having it be foreign terrorists?
Well, listen, we need Tulsi. We need Tulsi confirmed. She's a targeted individual, and she could say today, okay, whatever, I'll do whatever you say, but then she's going to do whatever she wants. That's number one. Number two, a court in the district court last week, the district court for the Southern District of New York declared unconstitutional Section 702. It is coming up for renewal in April. I really believe that with everything that is going on right now, I really believe it's going to be game over for them. Okay? So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that because I really believe that Kim, I really believe that things are working and freedom is going to be ours.
Oh, that's wonderful. And thank you for being such a great leader and directing us. I'm so thankful you're having this meeting.
And thank you for sending the letters. If you don't send the letters, my work is useless. My work depends on your activism, on your, printing the letter, sending it, and calling. Then after you send it, you call, you say, did you get my letter? I want to know what you're going to do about it. Very nicely, very politely, but follow up on that, okay?
Yeah, and that goes for the people watching this video, too.
Thank you. I'll do that. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kim.
God bless you.
Thank you, Kim. Yep. Next person in line to speak with Anna Toledo. Come on in. Anybody else for Anna Toledo?
Yes.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much for this show and being on here and everyone. So, two questions. One, the big one was, are you aware of any gains that have happened for our community when they had all this thing about, if you see a satellite, it's friendly or whatever? Has anybody been able to say, no, that's not true? And that's one quick question.
I don't know. I mean, I think that the drones, a lot of them are spying drones. That's my personal opinion. And harassment, because the psychological effect of having a stupid drone out there looking at you every day, it is harassing. But we don't know. And at Targeted Justice, we have not been able to get, because it's very hard to get the evidence. Now, after this is dismantled, I think a lot of truth will come out. I think that the Department of Government Efficiency, we all have to be writing to that department. Every single one of you has to be writing to them, because all those drones, all of that is money that is spent for harassment and spying purposes. So that's all I can say, because I don't know anymore.
Thank you. And the other question may be quick, but have you had or heard anyone who's had success with kind of lowering the impacts by having enough shielding? Because, I'm doing a little bit of the water thing, water shielding and everything, but things still penetrate.
Well, my personal thing is you can't see it here, but I always wear a water bag and like those red rubber bags. I always have one in front of my chest, in front of my heart. And I as you can see behind me, you see I have a chicken wire and top. It's a chicken wire cage that I attach to the silent night to have an electric field to shield me. And I sleep. Sometimes they wake me, but most of the time I sleep really well. So that's the shielding I use. And now what I've been doing is I'm even working inside of my bed because I live in an RV. Because when I notice that when I work outside of it, they turn on a computer. It's an implant that sounds like a computer, but when I'm here, they can't turn it on. So I just stay here, and I have 2 silent nights, and that's what I use. But the water never leaves my heart, and I urge you, even if it's a little one like this one, a little bag like this, put it in your sports bra when going out because it makes a huge difference. These criminals are constantly attacking your heart, even if you don't notice it.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you for the questions. Anybody else before we go to the book club?
Hey, Anna, how you doing?
Hi, I'm okay.
I got a question for you. You said, what's the number to call, and then what's the address to who we write to?
Well, DJ Chris is going to circulate there's a list of phone numbers of the Senate, okay? And it's a keepsake. I urge you to keep it because we're going to be doing a lot of activism, okay? So DJ Chris, I don't know how you're going to share it with your audience.
Well, he can send me an email and I'll send it to him, but I'm going to end up putting it on Twitter if I can figure it out. Oh, and it'll be on my newsletter on Wednesday.
Perfect. Awesome. And then you can subscribe to mine. I'm going to have I am making model letters for you to send to Doge and to I already did President Trump. I already did Pete Hesses. Now I'm going to be doing Tulsi, and I'm going to be doing Patel, and I'm going to be doing for Elon Musk for Doge. I'm going to talk about the waste and the funding of citizen cores and all that thing. So please subscribe to my Substack, which is Anna Toledo, ANATOLEDO.substack.com. And it's free. I mean, if you want to pay, you can pay, but it's free because my purpose is for everybody to send these letters out. Just like I sent to the Space Force people, I sent them both by email and I sent it in snail mail too, hoping that it gets there. So yeah, it's the only way.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your questions. We need to move on to the book club. We can come right back to Anna Toledo. She'll probably be here after the book club for a few minutes, I believe.
Yeah, are you talking about your coloring books?
The coloring book, yes, and the book club. We both talk about it at the same time, and that's
okay.
We're doing. Yeah, I do the coloring book myself, and that helps take care of the lights and the internet website, the whole 9 yards. My upgrades to the book club and all that stuff. So here we go.
It's time for the TI Book Club, where every book opens a door to new worlds and shared journeys. Here, we uncover hidden gems, specially selected for TIs, and always within your reach. Be part of a community that reads together, grows together, and sees the world through the same lens. Don't just listen to stories, live them with us. Join now at bookclubs.com/TIBookClub/join, and let's turn the pages of adventure together.
It's a TI Book Club with DJ Chris. The book club tonight is presenting with 193 members now. The Devil Besides Me, Gang Stalking, The Secret War and How to Win by E.J. Wyatt. It was one of the first books that we bought in the book club back in 2016, but I never read it. So I read it this week, and it was incredible. It talks about the possibility that there are people among us that are not really human. And they talk about the gang stalking that some people get with people with black eyes that look like they're snakes or lizards. And so the book talks about the possibility, I don't believe this, but that there are other entities that are human-like among us. I do know the brain is reptilian, so it may be that they're seeing people that have more reptilian in them. We all came from the ocean. Anyway, we decided to give that an 8. It's a really good book. It's the first book from the book club, like I said. Talks about other entities among us. And I don't want to say aliens, but other types of entities. That's a book club. You can join the book club, as the recording said, and be a member. We have a new book every week. We'll have books recommended by TI members mostly, and that's very successful because everybody knows to come to DJ Chris and or Tranquility or Laura for the book club. Now for the coloring book. The book club coloring book is very successful. We've got Deb K coloring right now. We've got Jax with her coloring book. And we are making a brand new coloring book right now called Animal World, just like this one, but it's animals around the world, every kind of animal. And today I managed to get through a good portion of the first part of the book. And it'll be out in March or April. You can buy it at lulu.com, and hopefully it'll be on Amazon. Although it's better to go to Lulu, it's faster shipping, and the books are better quality. Amazon books fall apart. These ones hold together. And so right now is the TI adult coloring book called Beach Day, and you can get that by searching, if you're watching this video, on your favorite browser to look for adult coloring book DJ Chris Beach Day on Lulu. Just type that in and check it out. Deb K is Bob Ross. Vanna White is Jax Joy. And of course, Jax will be on Frank Allen's call this Friday, I guess. So that's cool. And she's Vanna White for us. How are you going to beat that? And you got Deb K coloring. Coloring is very therapeutic if you're PTSD or not. I believe everybody that's targeted has PTSD, and this book is perfect for you. But it doesn't have to be this book. You can get your own coloring book and join us and show us your work on whatever book you want to buy. But if you get my coloring book, it helps pay the bills. Anyway, that's the end of that book club section. Now back to our open mic, I guess, unless Anna Toledo's still here. And then, of course, we can have open mic and talk amongst ourselves. And there's the book club showing of and of course this is the one. I'm going to put it away now. But I'm working on a new coloring book this week. It's going to take about 2 months to finish it. Hey, how are you? Come on in.
Yeah, this is Gary. Can you repeat the name of that book again? You said it was Entities Among Us?
It is The Devil Besides Me, Gang Stalking, The Secret War and How to Win by E.J. Wyatt, and about other entities among us. That's what she claims in the book.
About other entities among us?
It is. It's about the fact that some of the gang stalkers may not be human, but they look like humans.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, thank you for that.
I'm trying to find the book on. I haven't. Could you post that in the link, please? In the chat?
Better yet, if you join the book club, you can see all the books. I don't have a browser to post it. Sorry about that.
Hey, Chris,
You're cutting out. Okay, you're cutting everybody out.
can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Okay, I got a
But
question.
you're blasting through with your echoing back. You have your mic open. You're blasting the call out.
I'll be back. Wait, you can't hear me now?
I can hear you fine. Yeah, come back.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Gary. Anyway, we're going to end the recording. Thank you for watching on your favorite platform, Rumble, BitchUte, archive.org, YouTube. You can always find me there. And, of course, I get the screen of death on my computer right when FK's echoing, and we were going to have to end this recording now. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and make